It's December the 15th. Welcome to Narrowboat with James Bill. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Okay, ignore the mess, but this is a decent little setup. So Will Parking gave me this. So this is going to a little inverter. And from the inverter is charging my batteries for my power drill. That's the right result. Right, so I've put in this back support there and a couple of side supports, so that's all nice and rigid and straight and true and everything. Now I need to get myself a piece for the top. I'm going to get a bit of live edge or waney edge, whatever they call it. I've just got to source the right type of bit. In the meantime though, that's going to be a while off. In the meantime, I'm going to just make a bit out of ply. I've got one for that section there, so I'm going to make one for this, scribe it against the wall, put it all together, and that should be fine. Paint it and it'll be right. Got to get myself a board. Got to go somewhere now and get this, put a cut down the middle, and that'll just basically be two boards going in. I've just got to put myself an upright in going down there for the boards to rest against. Right, I've got the timber I require. To complete the rest of the bed support. I need to do a few big cuts on this board. Most notably, I need to trim 12 centimetres off the top of this all the way down, and then a couple of verticals. Not so worried about the verticals though, but this is going to take a bit of time doing the long one. Bear in mind, that's all I've got. So these are the two. These are the two bits I've cut. So obviously they'll fit together kind of fine like that. And the idea is they're going to be just held in with a couple of magnets. These ones there are going to have to slide in on that side of the yoke and kind of like that. And that one there will be fine as it is, but I think the yoke will have to cover that one as well, but that one should just be to slide into there. I'm going to sand down that edge, so when you're looking at it, it might be a little bit, well, non-perfect, but that's just the way it's going to have to be. And my plan to go on top, even though this is going to be a massive ball ache to do, is just that for me to get that piece of live edge, it's not easy to source and it's really expensive, and it's beyond me at the moment. One day I might do it, but for the moment I want to make do, and I don't really want to make do with a bit of ply because it's going to have joins in it. It's not going to look very good. So I'm going to go in with some of this stuff, which is old bed slats, which I was going to use on this bed, but I didn't, obviously. Which involves, and I think I look really good with them all lined up like that, because this is going to be a fixed piece. You're not going to be able to, you're not going to need to get into that, but there's a lot of cutting. Each one's got to be cut and measured and stuff. So, and the idea is that that will create a lip, and that'll be able to slide underneath it. So I need to trim this down a little bit still. I'm pretty happy with that line. I can make my piece with that, that's fine. So now I've just got to measure up for where the magnets need to go. Then I'll get them on, then I'll start treating the front of these. I'm just going about attaching the magnetic bits for the boards to sit in. Right, that's good. Now I've just got to mark up the top one. I like doing it this way because it's easy just to take this off and move it, get something out, put it back in, and it kind of clicks in place quite nicely. There's plenty of different ways of doing it though, but hinging it and everything like that just means you've got to get clearance and you've got to have everything, the gangway kind of clear at all times. So I just find this quite an easier approach. But you'll see that this is only 9mm board, and to attach anything to this 9mm ply, any screws kind of go through it. You can't, you know, I think the smallest screws I've got are 12mm screws, and obviously there's not much bite to that, and you don't want it poking out through it. So to get something going through this, you really need like a 9mm screw to obviously go in with, to go over the whatever you're attaching it to as well. So for this, I would need like a 6mm screw, which just isn't, yeah, it's just never going to bite at all, because obviously magnets have got a bit of a pull to them. So I'll show you what I'm going to do, because you'll see here they've protruded through. So these are the little diddy screws I've got. Yeah, these are 3x12s. Anything smaller than that, you know, just would have no bite at all. That's barely got any. But I knew this was going to be the case. I've had plenty of experience of screws protruding through board which is too thin. Well, there we have it, both boards in place. Pretty happy with that line down the middle for a hand cut line. I've used the factory edge on the floor. This is my edge, but that's going to be hidden by all of these bits going across there. The other thing I've done is I've raised this up slightly so that the slats are slightly pointing upwards. You'd never notice it, but it therefore means that that fits in nicely underneath it without it kind of scraping, or without me having to profile that down, which I started doing and then kind of ran out of steam. So I've just raised that one up slightly. I'm just going to put a hole in the front here so I can get it in and out easily. I'm going to extend it and make it a nice slot to put in 4 fingers, but I'll need a jigsaw for that, and I haven't got one of them. Well, I have, it just doesn't work. So there it is with the 2 panels back on, with the holes in it. Right, so I've now put in the lower shelf, and it's going to have another shelf there. I've now got to do the same on that side there. I'm just using offcuts of kind of 5.5mm ply, which is fine on a small stretch. It's only to hold a couple of shoes. Okay, so what I've done now is I've put a shelf in at the bottom there, all the way across. And the proof of the pudding is to see whether it takes a shoe. Yes, it does. And that's the narrowest bit down there. Perfect. Happy days. Well, the shoe cupboard come bed support's coming along nicely. The next thing I've got to do is work out which of these slats I'm going to use to make the top. I've worked out I need 36 bits, all of varying lengths. And you'll see on some of this stuff, I don't know where I got this from or when. See if I've got a good example of one here for you. Oh, here's one. You'll see there on that knot where it's been filled in. And there's quite a lot of that on this board. So I just want to get some decent, like that bit there, there's a good one there, kind of right in the middle of it. It's just been filled in with some kind of resin. So I just want to get some nice looking ones and keep as many of the factory edges as I can along the wall. So yeah, it's quite a lot of that to do, but it's pine, it'll be all right. I'm hoping it's going to go okay against the oak. I mean, it's going to be going the same way as the oak, but obviously this is pine and not oak. My plan longer term will be to use all this as a template and then get myself that bit of live edge. But I spoke to someone today that said it cost me about 450 quid for a piece of oak, 20 mil thick. So yeah, I might have a I'll make do with this for the time being, and hopefully it'll make it look quite nice and sturdy and yeah, pretty good. I've got 2 days off work now, and then it's the weekend. Not too sure what's going on with kids and stuff yet, but because I think everyone's trying to keep themselves relatively isolated and healthy before Christmas. But my plan is to move the boat tomorrow or Friday, weather dependent. And as I said to the members a couple of days ago, I'm going to be moving towards the Grove and hopefully get to the Grove, which is a nice 5-star hotel, which is yeah, my kind of cup of tea. So a week there, then down to Croxley for Christmas, or a few days, or whatever it might be. So that's the plan. Hope you guys can join me tomorrow for a bit of a cruise. Hope you guys are well. Take care. Bye bye.